fall day. I know it's a little louder in these tractors. These aren't as nice as your air ride cabs or anything like that, but hey, it is what it is. We're going to go ahead and go pick up the tiller here at my father-in-law's farm. They use the tiller for their garden. They do more just a small kind garden versus ours, which is more large. This one's only a 5-foot tiller. Hopefully we can get a bigger tiller here in the near future. I know we want to get like a 7-footer that fits this equipment a little bit better. The 5-foot's actually between the wheels, while a 7-footer would put us on the outside of the wheels, so we wouldn't have as much compaction. But I just combat the compaction with just going with our little tiller in between the wheels when I'm done. So, like I said, that's kind of our way to combat the compaction that happens from the normal, just this machine running outside the tiller range. So we'll show you that when we get down to it. When we get actually out there in the field, we'll do that. So right now I'm just going to go up and go pick up this tiller, and then we'll get some videos of that. Got the tiller. We're gonna head out. We're gonna go get this all rounded up. Have some fun. This is the fun part. All the equipment around. A little bit less strenuous on the body, of course. Makes it a little bit more fun. So enjoy the trip. We're gonna head on over to the other place and we're gonna get tilling. Right now I'm going crisscross across these beds. That way I break them up, get them kind of smooth out, and then I'll run the length of the garden afterwards. It does a mixing with the dirt that hasn't been used to the old dirt, and then also moves it this way to level it all out. So there's some benefits of doing this. That's realistically what I'm doing right now, is just slowly working through this. Take my time, get her good and mixed. Make sure everything's staying hooked up, making sure everything's good as we get started. And then throughout the day I'll switch directions here. We'll try and get this all tilled up. And that way we can get the next piece of equipment and start to put the mulch beds back in it for next year. Right now I'm not so much worried about compaction. I know I'm compacting quite a bit. When I start going north and south versus crisscross, I'll be able to control that compaction. You know, get it down to just my tire widths. Right now I'm kind of running over areas. My main job is just to try and get these rows all leveled back out as best I can before I go north and south with this garden kit. Once again, not trying to be pretty, not worried about compaction, just more worried about leveling and getting these rows remixed between the walkways and of course the raised areas. And then we'll go back and we'll go north and south, follow the fence line. It'll go a lot smoother that way. We'll be able to keep compaction to a minimum. We'll be able to work on some of these weeds on the edges that I'm kind of missing. We'll get all this stuff all re-tilled in and ready for next year. And then we'll see. We might get to the south side this year. If not, at least this side will be ready to go for like your onions and broccoli and all the early spring stuff. We can always do the south side when we get closer to next year into spring, because a lot of the later stuff like the peppers, tomatoes, and things like that can't be put in until almost the middle of June anyways, beginning of June. So we do have time in the spring to be able to tackle that side of things. So much easier with 2 people. What's that?
Is that on the tractor or this?
It's on that. Well, it was on the other thing, the tiller too. I can't get anything to get enough leverage to turn this damn bar. It's like it's solid. I've loosened up the other rods. I just can't get anything, enough leverage to do anything with it. It's like it throws up in there. Oh, we can drop it. That's not the problem. It's going to be unlevel though. Which may not be the worst thing either, to have the front a little high, because we've always had it kind of the other way. I'm wondering if that would maybe work better, because then we would have more dirt in the back to roll back over it. We'll try it on this outside one. Watch your feelers. Good? I'll have to go forward a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
How's that?
Little. Pick it up and go forward.
What's that?
Lift it, go forward, then drop it again.
Good? We got this. Like I said, this is that rowing machine. That's the water line, gets fed through, goes down through the channel. This is the plastic, rolls down underneath. We pick black side up because we want heat here in northern Wisconsin. The two rollers pinch it, and it does a really nice job of making these nice raised beds. So now we'll go and take the tiller between each one of these, and we will go ahead and flatten that, and we'll roll down those black mats like you saw us take out in between, and the whole northern half of the garden will be ready for next year. So good deal. Another project off the list. 100 more to go. Next thing we had to do is we had to lift up these arms right here. I can't do that one-handed. I'm going to stick you on the side here. You're going to watch me from the side. We're going to lift up these arms here, stow those up, and then the machine's all ready to go for next year. Really not much for grease zerks or anything on this machine. It's really simple. Works great for a small garden. It could actually do a really large garden as we get bigger and do more produce, more farmers markets. We'll probably continue to do more acreage, but right now we're going to stay where we are this year just because of the cost of everything. And then next year we'll negotiate maybe going up a little bit more. But for now on, let me have some fun and put this away. And no, there is no easier way to do that. I have tried. The only easier way of doing that is taking a skid loader to it and popping them up. But hey, gotta do it once every time we do it. All right, just give me a quick update because it is now about 4:30, 5 o'clock. See, sun's already going down. Still got a couple hours daylight, but going through, tilled between the rows, you know, cleaned up all this, because you get these little mounds when you do that rowing system or put in the mulching beds. You get a little hard spot between from the compaction of the tires. So what I did is I went through and I cleaned that up. So we ran a tiller back and forth to get rid of that. Now all I'm doing is breaking the hard edges on here. So if you come over here, I haven't done it on these ones yet. I've already gone through almost half of them now. But you get this little like raised area right here, because the mulcher kind of pushes up on the plastic. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go knock that down with my boot and then sweep off the top of this. And then tomorrow we'll kick out here and we'll start putting the mats between here again. So by the end of tomorrow, this will all be done. The north side will be all finished. My wife's totally still got some stuff down in the end of the garden there. She needs to get taken care of on her end. And then we still got the south part of the garden. But we may wait until next year because we do have to get some black dirt thrown onto there. I want to say manure, but black dirt. It's 3 to 5 year old manure that we've had in a pile, composting. We rotate it every year, and that way we always have a pretty good supply of black dirt that's around here. So we will have to put probably 3 loads down there and amend that soil. It's very clay, you know, up here, you know, if I look at this soil here, so if I turn around and we look at this, it's very much like a black film. So if you see, it's kind of a black, it's got some little pockets in it, but after tilling, it's really dark in color. So we've actually amended this a couple times. We actually put a lot of manure on this top northern end when we built the garden. And if you see right down here, there's a wood post about right here where my fingertip is. That used to be the original garden, and then we doubled the size of it and went down the hill. When we did it, there was hay stored there, and that's where I talk about the organics in the soil not being a good thing, how they can actually cause bad soil and actually not give you much nutrient. And down there we don't have much nutrients. It works good for pumpkins, it works good for some basic plants, but overall it's not very healthy soil comparatively to what's up here. So up here we have a really good bedstead. We did a nitrogen test on it. Everything on the nitrogen test came out good, so we decided not to amend this year. That part of the field down on that south part we're definitely going to have to amend. Nitrogen and all that's really low, phosphorus and things like that. The only thing that we probably could have done on this end was lime it. We were actually running a little bit on the acidic side, so we could have ran some lime into this and then amended that down for that acidity, but it was just barely over, so we decided to go with this year. Plus with the roots that we were getting this year, not really a big concern at this point, so we decided just to go with that and leave it be. So once again, that's where we're at right now, is that we are just trying to finish this up, wrap this up for tonight. Been a long day, a lot of work, jumping in and out of tractors, getting these all pulled. You saw Coley helping pull this stuff across. And then tomorrow we will go through and we will go ahead and get all these mats back between there you saw us remove, so that this upper part of this garden is all set. So regardless, when we get early spring, you know, around May, Coley can get out here and start getting her plants in, especially like your potatoes, your onions, broccoli, cabbages, even her kale and things like that can take frost. They can go down to like negative, or can go down to 24 degrees. Not negative, but 24 degrees. As you can see over on that side of the garden, you know, the celery, her herbs, and the kale are still looking great. The broccoli, if you saw the video earlier when we were pulling them out, were actually still green, and we were still getting broccoli on it. So even with it being so cold, they're still producing to some point. But it's the end of the season and we have to get this done. Starting next week, we're going to be below freezing at night, every night. It'd be barely above freezing during the day, so there's a chance this ground is going to get to be a rock after this weekend. And when that happens, we won't be doing anything else out here. So this all has to be done, ready to rock and roll. And then if we have time in the next 2 days while it's still warm, we're going to try and get some done on that south, maybe pull out the plastic and get it kind of broke down. But next spring we'll do some more tilling on that and get that manure or the black dirt down on there to get that amended in. Hopefully next year that'll be a good productive side of the field, and then get the mats between there. We didn't do it last year and we regret every bit of it. We figured that they were just pumpkins and we wouldn't have a problem, but they still got lost in those weeds, and we still think that that's detrimental to them plants. So overall, game plan: get mats, get plastic, get everything the same north and south, and get that ground amended. We should be good to go. So other than that, I'll just let you enjoy me going down this road, cleaning it up. All right, that's it. Done for tonight. Gonna go eat dinner. Good day. Got the garden all prepped. A few things. We gotta load cattle tomorrow, so we'll have a video of the cattle loading. That'll be fun. Getting them in the pots. What do you think, dude? Yeah. Yeah, we're all done. Where's Matthew? Come on, Bug. All right, that's it. Guess have a good night.